Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and the solo adventure, chapter 1 at least, of the Saviors of Uldum expansion is now out, so we're going to do that. We've got a nice big new button here. I felt like the Saviors of Uldum expansion, just as a little bit of setup, came way too quickly. The cards are fine, but certainly, like every other expansion, not really drastically changing the game. If anything, I would say there's a kind of a collection of some watered down cards that replace some more overpowered cards from classic or previous expansions. But yeah, there wasn't anything big there. And then we kind of went into silent mode. Like, look at this. Through special weekly tavern brawls and daily quests, they gave me 7 packs and 9 classic packs, 7 Uldum packs, just on my Americas account, which kind of relates down to, it feels, I know it's not true, but it feels like it's been at least 5 weeks since the expansions come out, so it's really weird. It feels really, really late. Like, I felt like Uldum came way too early, and that we really should probably only have at most 2 expansions in Hearthstone per year, and then this seems just so late. It's kind of ridiculously late to the party, it feels like.
Has unleashed the plagues of Uldum, and only we can stop him. Explorers to me.
So there's going to be some free packs we get in this solo expansion, and I imagine this solo expansion is not any real different than the Delarian Heist or Rosticon's Rumble. We haven't had anything that was significantly different since the Boomsday project, and before that we had the Witchwood and Kobolds and Catacombs, and which were pretty much the same. So, unless this is really, the Tombs of Terror really are different, it's just going to be kind of more of the same. Truth is,
I've collated eyewitness reports to triangulate the origin of the plagues. We'll tackle each one at its source.
So I don't know if this is going to be 5 weeks or 4 weeks at this point. Because the way this map looks, it could be that there's a 5th week under this. It says 05, so I guess if I just read, I would know that. Yep, so weekly chapters every Tuesday around noon, if I'm awake, is the schedule as far as doing this.
Missing for generations. Imagine the loot.
So yeah, I think you need to just, last time you just needed to play like 3, maybe 5 games, and then they gave you packs for that. You didn't even have to win. And it is worth mentioning that the last expansion, the Delarian Heist, Chapter 1, was particularly hard for me, and so I still haven't finished Chapter 1 on all 3 of my accounts. And I don't particularly care to. I guess we have plenty of gold here. If it's going to be 700 gold to unlock chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5, then I have 7, 14, 21, 3 weeks already, and by the time week 5 comes around, I'll probably have enough. Like, I'm not getting too concerned about that. So we're going to investigate the lost city of Tolvir and put a stop to the plague of Murlocs, twist Murlocs everywhere. Yeah, Hearthstone is just very long in the tooth at this point. So, like, getting more expansions, it feels a lot like if somebody announced that there was a new expansion for Magic the Gathering. In a sense, it'd be like, no duh, of course, there's a new expansion. Does that really bring in new players? No. Does that really make me want to go back and play Magic the Gathering? Me and personally, like, I played it during Ice Age and didn't really like the people I was playing with even then as a kid, so, like, there's really not a great way that they can bring me back in. So, alright. This, I guess we can just click on. You get 3 packs for reaching the 5th boss in this chapter, so you just have to get to the 5th boss. At some point, we're going to fight some titan with 300 health. That sounds like that could be a nightmare, but I assume that there's going to be some way around that. And they've, I guess, permanently now introduced anomaly mode, which I would have thought that would have been potentially replaced with something different. I don't feel like anomaly mode really does much for anybody other than streamers who would want to do this over and over again. Normal people aren't going to beat or unlock everything, then play the second time on anomaly mode. And anomaly mode, I don't think, I haven't seen it ever do anything to drastically improve your chances of winning.
We've all trained for this.
I kind of prefer just a
and flexible
easy
than ever
mode.
before.
So this time we're going to be limited down to just 2 people. So we can play as the mage rogue, or we can play as the paladin shaman. So then the question would be, do we want to play a Murloc deck that could benefit from any boss effects that would help Murlocs, or do we want to play Mage Rogue and try to compete against the Murlocs? I say we go with the Murloc deck. Oh, wait, can't do it. It's locked.
Hand me my hat, Finley. I'm going in.
So you've got no choice here. That's oddly depicted here. So this makes me feel like we're probably going to do the chapter 1, and then I'll make a quick break, and then we'll do chapter 2 today. We'll see how that works, but definitely you can see 4 people are all you're gonna get. So they're dividing 9 in 2, and they end up with 4. That leaves one hero class on the cutting room floor. Alright, so Reno Jackson is our only choice.
Sir Finley, hand me my whip. This is my chance to stock up on treasures.
This is new. So if we defeat 5 bosses, we would have a weapon. We could choose a weapon that steals a card from your opponent's hand, or defeat 50 Plague Lords, and we can have a spell that deals full damage and has a combo to shuffle a copy of this card into your deck that deals 2 more damage. This is kind of just an improved version of the Flame Torch. If we defeat 1 Plague Lord, we'll get a 4 mana, 5 attack, 5 health minion called the Junior Tomb Diver. Has a battle cry. If you've played 6 Secrets this game, your hero valor becomes Discover a Treasure, which probably wouldn't be terrible. Of course, these cards are not playable in any other part of the game, so these can be a little overpowered. In fact, these might be the one thing that makes it easier to finish the chapters in this expansion. Here we have a 2 mana, 2 attack, 6 health minion called Lay Flamepaw. After you cast a spell, cast it again on the same target. We've seen similar cards to this that aren't this cheap. And then we have a 5 mana spell called the Gatling Wand. Deal 3 damage, split randomly among all enemies. Improves for each spell you've cast this game. That's pretty good too. And that's defeat 3 Plague Lords. So it seems weird. You're gonna unlock these, but then you have to defeat. We have to damage 50 Plague Lords. So I don't know how many Plague Lords we're gonna end up running into. Right now, all we can choose those. Renews Lucky Hat, give a minion +2/+2 and spell damage +2. This is only a slightly improved version of another hat magic spell that does a similar thing, but not as good.
Sweet new moves.
Yeah, I really don't know how much strategy is really needed in these things, as it often just comes down to luck. Of course, this is also practically the only time I play Hearthstone anymore where I'm just paying attention to Hearthstone and actually trying to win for what little that helps. So if we activate 30 combo effects, we would be able to use this hero spell that gives your next spell damage plus your next spell this turn has spell damage +2. And if we deal damage with spells 250 times, we could get this spell, which fires 2 missiles that deal 1 damage each. If any minion dies, it repeats. That could be useful in a lot of scenarios, but I could see it not being super useful in a lot of scenarios too. But not terrible. But all we can use right now is Amateur Mage to deal 1 damage, combo deal 2 instead. That's better than the default mage ability.
I'll scavenge more gear in the desert.
So usually, you just have to defeat a certain number of bosses to unlock characters. You don't have a special item. You do have a special ability. It seems like this single player expansion has added the special items, making this even more complicated, trying to push you to, I suppose, to play this even more. I don't think this is gonna work though. And yeah, it's really too little too late, frankly. If all of these solo expansions had launched in the beta or day 1 of the official release of Hearthstone, you could have probably gotten a lot of people to do some of the single player expansion stuff in replacement of playing ranked ladder matchmaking standard play. But that wasn't the way they launched. So this game is now completely full of people who have been trained for over 5 years, I believe now, to focus all of their attention on some player versus player experience. They have been given very little to do a player versus event experience, which is what this is. So I have to play as Novice Spellslinger, which starts with Murlocs have invaded each deck, deal 2 damage, bunch of spells, cards, just some basic things. A card called Stolen Steel, I think that's new, not something you can normally play. And once we defeat the boss, we would then have a better starting deck, almost certainly, to pick from. And at the end here, if you defeat 24 bosses, you have a random deck. So there's really only 3 crafted decks and then random. So, which you could do random without having that built into the game, but whatever. And I'm not sure, I've never bothered to play any of the random decks, so I'm not sure if it randomizes at the beginning of a run or if it randomizes in between each playthrough. I would assume at the beginning of a run. We're going to start off with 15 health, and they try to speed this up a little bit, but it doesn't really help in the end. We're going to be fighting Lieutenant Herring, who has a hero power to give your Murlocs rush, give his Murlocs rush. He has 10 health. Shouldn't be too hard, and that's probably way too much setup to just jump into the game.
Rydo versus Lieutenant Herring.
Evil, eh? I hate these guys.
Lieutenant Herring being a name of a fish, it doesn't make the most sense for a Murloc, effectively a amphibious frog, to... I wonder if we always start with our lucky hat, or if something else goes on.
Cast a spell. I want to cast a spell.
Alright, this will start pretty easily. I don't have Hearthstone deck tracker enabled. I could have had it on. I suppose it may have helped a little bit, but a lot of weirdness is going to happen anyway, so let's just play this the normal way. So do
Think
this,
of this like a magical mage hat.
and then
Power.
do this. Steal a card. I can now do 4 damage to an undamaged minion. And let's see, so if I do this, next turn I could combo and do 2. Do I have enough? I believe this is victory here, because this will do 3 damage, and nope, I'm short 1.
Spells are fun.
But
So
yeah,
fun.
not too hard. Maybe a little understanding required as far as how to use Razor Pedal. So I could win with the hero power, I could deal 1 damage with a spell. We don't have really anything else I think that needs to be done, so I'll use the hero power in case one of the challenges to unlock something was use hero power. Of course I didn't play perfectly there because I could have used Razor Pedal to then do a combo and do 2 damage with the hero power instead of 1.
Victory is mine! And so is this sweet, sweet loot. Ooh, what should I take?
Of course, you shouldn't have any challenge with the first boss in any run, and they've given us no indication how many bosses there are, so it could be that there is more than 8 or 9 bosses that we're taking on, which I think usually in these runs it's 8. Your opponent must pass their first 2 turns. Ooh, that's interesting. Your minions have +1/+1 health and taunt. Enemies have -1 attack. The setup of passing the first 2 turns is interesting, but it would really only work if we thought we were going to get an amazing strategy, which we're not. You just aren't in these kind of runs, and not without a lot of luck. Giving every Murloc +1 health and taunt is probably super useful, whereas weakening every minion isn't as useful.
I've been learning a few new tricks.
Of course,
Magic tricks.
some of that also ruins, like the Sorcerer's Apprentice now will have +1 health and taunt. So if I was ever going to try and hide that behind the taunt minion, I can't. Or if I was going to try and hide any of the other minions behind the taunt, I can't. The cards that summon... Let's see. Well, I don't think our options are great here. I don't think the combo option is very good. I don't think a weapon enchantment is super good unless there's... Well, if we're going to try and do like a 300 damage 300 damage at the end of the final boss, trying to enchant this up so it did even like 10 damage would be really difficult. So I'm gonna go with summoning frenzy, more minions.
Is it just me, or are these guys getting tougher the farther we go?
So now the next boss has 15 health, and I have 20 health. By the time you're at the 6th or 7th boss, you have less health, unless you get a card that will double your health or increase your health some other way. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage, randomly split among all enemies. Passive ability. Okay. There's not a lot to take from the names or the descriptions. You just kind of want to know what their ability is, and that's it.
Versus Armavar.
There still is very much
Maybe I could
a lack of strategy
Come closer
in this.
to the fire, explorer.
Like, yeah, I don't think it's as wise as it seems like, or could be. Certainly, it doesn't feel like a real strategy game. And I don't know how you fix that, because I think I've heard on rare occasions, heard of somebody play somebody where they just build their deck building game in a row. So instead of shuffling a deck, you just know exactly what cards you're going to draw on every single turn. That probably would get annoying really fast, but in a solo adventure like this, that might make some sense and might work, and add a considerable amount of strategy here. But you can't build your starting deck in these solo adventures at all. You're limited to three starting decks once you unlock them, plus the random starting deck, and so all of your strategy falls out the window at that point.
We must band together, united for Dalaran.
So you're then limited to the small amount of modifications you can do to your deck by adding cards, which you're given a random selection of three groups of 3. Let's see. Right. So yeah, we'll see how that works.
Job done.
Couldn't really do anything there. That's another good example of, like, there aren't enough cards in Hearthstone, and there never really have been enough to counter a secret. It almost breaks down to the point where if I was just allowed to play some kind of mini game whenever a secret was played, that would be super useful. Like, if I could use at the beginning of every game, if I could play a special card that says, for the rest of the game, whenever your opponent plays a secret, you will guess between 4 character class secrets to guess what it is, and if you guess right, it disables that secret, because then you would know what the trap is. If you guess wrong, it would do, I would have to assume, some form of
Science overwhelmed.
extra amount of damage. That's pretty much all it could do.
Job's done.
Yeah, that's something like that would probably balance secrets for the 2 hero classes that play secrets. Otherwise, you just kind of know that a hunter is always doing explosive trap and a few others. And because of everybody playing the top meta decks that they can play, there's never been enough secrets that it was fully randomized. Anyways, you kind of knew what you were doing. Alright. I want to do that. I don't even know if I have this. That was definitely not the kind of card I needed to play.
It's getting hot in here.
So yeah, We have a decent chance here where we're gonna lose on the second run. And certainly I'm not satisfied with that outcome if that happens.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Alright, what can I play? I've got to kind of play this. Let's go and kill that. Attack that. And then attack that. And I guess we're safe. I guess we're moving forward. But boy, do I not feel very secure or safe in my next next game. So we've done so little now. The question is, did I make a mistake? Well, I didn't make a mistake because there was no choice here. The only thing I could potentially do is, if I fail in this first run, then
We must band together, we must band together, united for Dalaran. We must band together, united for Dalaran.
My calculations are flawless.
there we go. Well, that worked. But ice block. So I probably have saved myself. I'm still probably fine, but if he can cast some kind of spell.
You cannot escape us.
What was that card that just played? Surprise Murlocs cast when drawn, summon a random Murloc amount of Murlocs. So the Surprise Murlocs is not Murlocs actually in your deck, it's just a card that summons some random Murlocs. Alright, well.
We must band together, united for Dalaran. We must band together, united for Dalaran.
There we go. So we'll combo and then we'll use our hero ability and win. Well, I've got the beginning of a strategy going on. Can we expand on that strategy? Whenever your minions is attacked, summon a copy of it. That's a summoning spell. After your minion attacks a hero, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. There's a couple secrets there, and a forced betrayal. Or we go with just spell damage in general. I think we go with this one, because that plays towards the strategy I'm playing right now. So this hero powers give a minion death rattle, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. That's not going to be great. He's now at 20 health and we're at 25. We're quickly accelerating the amount of health to the point where it's going to be a full-length game in each battle. So you really don't get an accelerated experience, and I feel like the
Evil, eh? I hate these guys.
one of the major problems, of which there's probably a lot, of Hearthstone is that there is a considerable lack of shorter, quick experiences that you can have with it. If you have only like 5 minutes, don't even bother launching Hearthstone, because there's very little you can do. And I guess you could play single player here and exit out at any point and it should save your game. I'm fairly certain it would, but I can't really think of anything else. There's a great example of where this character doesn't work. So Like that spell card would have worked twice as well if this had just been on the field, and this couldn't have been on the field because it was drawn the first turn. As I get more cards in my deck, it'll become more useful. Alright. Let's discover a weapon. And this would do 6 damage, where this would do 10 damage. We'll just hold on to that weapon. Seems like we're unlikely to have weapons too often.
Get these off of me!
Minions in your hand have echo. Interesting. If I could play that on the 6th turn, that would be useful.
Nobody loots these ruins but me.
I have a pretty good defense here.
You all get curses!
With every single minion having taunt, that's helpful in part, but not as helpful as I would like it to be. Look at this. If I could put this on the field and then have Echo by the 7th turn, I could have a considerable decrease in the cost of spells.
It's so crazy. It just might work.
Or I could kind of just do nothing.
We must band together, united for Dalaran. What? Dead or alive?
Give my totems +2 attack. That's not gonna help any. So he's just gonna cast Curse of Weakness every turn. Making it close to impossible for my minions to be able to do anything.
Your moonlit shadows rise to meet you.
Okay. The problem with this is I don't have any real spells worth casting, and I would want like Archmage Antonidas if I could cast this multiple times and reduce the cost of spells. Okay. So minions in your hand have Echo. We've got that. So if I played this, then I could play this a couple times.
You've been in tighter scrapes, Reno.
This,
Someday I'll be just like you.
and then this,
Someday I'll be just like you.
and then this. And then this.
Someday I'll be just like you.
And then I guess this.
Draw.
I'll kill that. Attack here. Attack here. And then end the turn. But I have like no spells to justify this. Alright, well, we could do this. And then let's see, is there something I could kill on the field to make room, because that would be helpful. Yeah, because if I could get this on the field, that'd be slightly useful, but I guess whatever. We'll do that. Do that. And then do this, and then we'll go ahead and use our hero power, and then just win. So I'm playing more strategy than I really can. But okay, whatever. That still works. We still got a victory. See, discover a card and gain a mana crystal for each boss you've defeated this this run, which would be potentially useful in late game to gain on the first turn potentially 8 mana crystals, but if you grab this by the 10th turn it's totally useless, other than maybe it would discover 10 or 8 cards also. Let's see. Deal 7 damage to all enemies. Resurrect the first 4 friendly minions that died this game, give them reborn. I think this one is the craziest one, so I want to take this one. It may not be the best one. Meanwhile, my summoning strategy, I think, might be the best move. If not, then we could take some flame walkers. Yep. No, I think my summoning strategy still works.
A little inn. I can recruit some help here.
They've reskinned the Barkeep Bob to Bazaar Bob. Interesting. They changed that. It's been the same for probably the last 3 expansions. Of course, that's a real simple reskin. It's just one artistic project.
Is that
Shirley's
the place to
Temple.
rest? I hope that's not a mirage.
Well, hello there. Happy to help you in these trying times.
So I could choose an enemy minion and add it to your adventure deck. So Kel'Thuzul sounds like a great one. I could do that. I could discover from a weapon from any class and add it to the adventure deck with +2/+2. Discover a spell and add it to your adventure book.
So crazy.
It's always in your
Just
starting
might
hand.
work.
Oh. Remove it from the adventure deck. I don't know if I have anything here that is completely a bad idea. So we'll start with Kel'Thuzul. He's an amazingly good card, in my opinion. And then the question is, do I want to start with a spell always, or do I want to discover a weapon or get rid of something? The only thing I could even think about getting rid of is this. And I don't think a small tweak like that really even matters. So let's discover spell.
You can catch a lot of good tips if you know who to listen to.
Alright. Put one of each secret from your deck into the battlefield. I don't think I have enough secrets for that, so I'll take that. It's not too bad. Could give it a spell damage, but there's really not a reason to either, so I'll just do
Thanks for your
that.
patronage. It means a lot.
Our decks are up to 18 cards now, and we're on the 4th of 8 challenges. I now see that. This hero power adds a random lackey to his hand. He has 30 health. I have 30 health. So we're in the midpoint and we have an equal amount of health. But going forward, the 5th boss will have either 35 or 40 health, and I'll only have 30 unless I change something. Wonder if this was supposed to be like Rocket Raccoon or something.
Excuse me, you are not doing this.
Let's see. Yeah, let's just start with these. There's kind of no problem with just starting with Kelgar. What just happened? Murlocs have invaded the decks. Each deck.
Job done.
Surprise Murlocs. Twist Plague of Murlocs. So the Murlocs fill your deck with cards that say Surprise Murlocs. Interesting.
You've been in tighter scrapes, Rydo.
So I just start in a very good position.
Oh, I am not buying what this one is selling.
Okay.
We must band
I
together,
have
united for
to kill
Dalaran.
that. Attack there and there, and we're good.
Put this apple on your head.
I guess we play this and then attack here. Like, that seems like a pretty good strategy. Second turn and he's already down to 24. So now when this summons Murlocs, it'll summon double the amount of Murlocs. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this so I can do this. Do that. End of the fourth turn, he's down to 14. I don't think this guy's strategy is going to work very well against me. We're doing alright. And then next turn I could play this if I wanted to, but it's not a great reason to. And you can see I really only had one opportunity so far to even play a Death Rattle minion. Okay. So we do this, and then this, and then this. That works pretty well. And then we can just continue to hit people in the face. He probably will kill this guy and a few other people, but not enough. Because I could probably just discover a weapon right now and use it.
I want you, lackey.
Alright. So play this. Do this. So we can see what the weapon would have been. I probably would have picked this one. And we can take the victory and move forward. So far we haven't run into any major struggles. But I imagine that's the normal. That's really to be expected. Like, it gets crazier later on. Let's see. But discover a secret, put it on the battlefield. Add a copy of each of your Battlecry minions to your hand. I don't have a lot of Battlecry minions. Frostbolt and spells. Yeah, I think Spell Sling probably the right move here. So, of those three options. Next, we're taking on the Sinkhole. As a 1-mana spell, shuffle a sand trap into your opponent's deck that swallows cards when drawn. Interesting. Best way to avoid a sinkhole is to, too late. So this is one of the crazier bosses, that I'm gonna have to figure out some strategy.
Save the treasure from sinking!
So now, immediately I can draw discover 4 cards and discover, gain 4 mana crystals on the first turn. Nothing else happened? Okay, so Let's see, what do we want to do? Something cheap as a death rattle. That's as a minion attacks, draw a hand. If this is the only minion on the battlefield, I gain +3/+3. I could do that actually. Let's see, destroy a minion, death rattle, resummon it. Interesting, when your hero takes damage, this one takes damage instead. We'll take that one. And then another death rattle, 1 mana. Alright. So I play this, and then play this.
Job done.
And then that starts us down a path. So that just removes 2 cards off the top of my deck. Alright, well that sucks. Okay. Well, we start with 6, so I can destroy this and do 2 damage, and do that and do 6 damage. And it almost feels like he's barely gonna do anything else other than play sand traps. This is gonna be interesting. Alright. So, play another death rattle.
I'm warning you, I'm unstable.
And then play this.
I'll be just like you.
Do that. Go ahead and play this for free. And go ahead and play this. And let's see, death rattle do 1 damage. Does this go up with the death rattle cards in general? It doesn't have to be death rattle minions. Ooh, I'll just take that. Yeah. And I believe there's a decent chance I play this next turn, I attack, then I attack with all of these people, and I've won. In fact, unless they do something crazy, I'm not sure that I haven't won anyways. Like there, that gets it to 18. That pumps up everything. That this would be a nice card to have in my deck at all times. Could cast a spell. Do I have any reason to cast a spell though? I don't think I do. So we're kind of powering through this. Not having a terrible problem with it so far. Again, to be expected, we don't start running into trouble until you're at the 7th or 8th boss, and that's when you usually run into the problem of, oh, you've spent an hour grinding to get to the 7th or 8th boss, and there's no way to retry if you die on some BS action, or start at the 7th or 8th boss the next time. Your minions have rush, interesting. Your minions cost 2 or less poisonous. At the start of your game, equip a random weapon and give it +1/+1. A considerable amount of my minions do have cost 2 or less. So giving them poisonous actually sounds intriguing, to say the least. Do we want to continue down the summon path, or the pirate's path, or the spells path? I think we have to go to summon path because the spells path is a little too random. It's just to discover spells, and this spell isn't that useful. And the pirate's path is probably not useful at all.
Aha! A little inn.
And
I
so
can recruit some help
now
here.
our second Bizarre Bob. If I get Kel'Thuzul on the field, and I have the other character that doubles the number of things that have been spelled, this
whole
one,
traveling
CAD
merchant thing. You know,
CAD
it's
guard.
kind of quaint.
If I have both of those on the field at the same time, I could get some crazy amounts of summons. Alright, remove all cards from your adventure deck that cost 2 or less. Ooh, that would be insane. Choose a friendly minion, remove it from the adventure deck. Could probably get rid of that. Add all enemy minions to your adventure deck that cost 1 less. That's not a terrible idea. Like having this for 0.
Tighter scrapes, Reno.
Particularly that, so that's right. This is different. I don't think we started with 3 gold coins, gold pieces, previously in other adventure decks. Give a friendly minion +2/+2, and then start your increase. Yeah, I think
Been in tighter scrapes,
this is
Reno.
what you want to do, is this, and then this.
Gotta stay healthy now. Food's not easy to find.
And then the question would be, do I want to get rid of this? I have 29 cards. It really doesn't make sense to lower the amount of cards, because that's only going to, in the long run, potentially cause you major fatigue troubles. But it's also very possible that never becomes an issue. So next we have a hero power of, if there are 8 or more minions on the battlefield, destroy them all. I'm gonna have to be careful about that. They've thrown a boss here that's directly against what I'm trying to do, and he starts with 50 health and I start with 45. If I really am gonna fight a 300 health titan, it's gonna have to have some kind of trickery around it to make it easier than that. Doing 300 damage is not just something you can do.
And save the world.
Let's see. I'll definitely start with this, and we'll trade out that middle card. Alright. When one of your minions is attacked, I'm going to copy. Alright, so we start with this. If you control 3 of these at the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. That's not going to happen. Destroy an undamaged minion. Discover a spell. We'll take that. It's 50% chance to draw an extra card, which could fatigue them. Fall asleep, 50% chance. I don't want that.
You've been in tighter scrapes, Reno.
We'll take this weapon. Gain health when inspired. Whenever one of the other minions dies, summon a 2/2 ghoul. That's not too bad. So do I want this or this? Guess we'll take this. Can't attack unless it's the only minion on the battlefield. Destroy random secret. The thing with this would be that it won't be the only minion on the battlefield for long. Could play this. You could do that. Whenever a minion dies, gain +1 attack. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the best one. Alright. So, let's do that. And that. And then end the turn. And it's going to use its hero power every time, even if it doesn't matter. Destroy a minion, summon 2 copies to replace the same minion. Okay, not ready yet to do that. Go ahead and attack there. What's this one? Whenever one of your minions is attacked, summon a copy. So probably we'll make a copy of this. Of course, I'm gonna have to struggle now to make sure that there isn't actually 8 minions on the field. Next, what are we on? We have a 9 damage to start with. Let's see. So if I did this, and then I'm just gonna cast this and destroy it and make some more copies. That's not too bad. Go ahead and use this. I guess I could have frozen the target. I don't know if that hurts. So I'm down to 6. So if my side of the field wants to be full, his side has to be empty. If he even gets a couple of people on the field. But frankly, that won't be too hard with so many of my minions having poison. Divine Shield, the Reborn. Alright. So we'll do that, and then that, and I guess we can just play that.
Dead or alive?
I don't have a full victory in this turn, but on turn 5, which is where we basically are. Well, maybe not. There goes all my minions. Yeah, I think I can figure a way out of this though. Let's see. Let's see. Divine Spirit Reborn. One more turn. We've got this in the bag. Even if his ability did work, this would be reborn. So it wouldn't matter. Unless he can... Well, that saved him a little bit, but unless he can get rid of this guy or put a taunt minion on the field. Right. Yeah, just victory. So get rid of that, and do that, and then do that. Well, it's never the right time to get cocky, but unless the final boss is really difficult, which I think he might be, we've probably got this in the bag. I don't know if this is because I just lucked out, or if this first week is just in particular pretty easy. Let's see. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion. It's not terrible. Honestly, though, I think we're probably fine on minions, but I'll take Summoning Frenzy in anyway. So challenge 7 of 60, it's 60 health versus 50, that's still doable. Summon a 1/4 Servant with Taunt, Rush, Wind Fury, or Divine Shield, which is slightly different than the totems, which have Taunt, Heal 1 to all minions, Spell damage +1, and an attack of 1 and a health of 1 with no special ability. But otherwise it's just a summon a totem ability otherwise.
Reno versus Siamot.
Okay.
How many wishes do I get?
You may choose the manner of your destruction.
So I'm just gonna re-roll everything because that 0 mana discover cards and get mana crystals are way more important than having that one spell that I've not used at all.
You cannot escape us.
Is this gonna do something different because we're getting special dialogue? Not having that extra boost at the beginning is gonna put us in a different position. Alright. If I play this and then attack with this, I think we're cool. Play this next turn, and then try and play this next turn.
We must band together, united
Just,
for Dalaran.
we'll just keep on playing the same strategy.
Winds bring thunder.
So do just 2 damage to it. There we go, that keeps it alive. Playing this right now doesn't help anything, so we'll just go ahead and do this. There we go.
You call that magic?
So that card worked relatively well. Not as well as I would have liked it to, but okay. Good enough. Do I want to summon 2 copies that cost the same amount? Because I could keep on doing that, but I don't think there's a need to. Just do that instead and keep on playing. And then I can just poison this guy.
Still aid me.
Go ahead and cast that spell.
I've always wanted to say that. That minion already attacked.
Nice. Take that one out. Just play that.
Just like you!
Okay, we're doing alright, even without the booster. Of course, now if we got that booster and it gave us 7 extra mana crystals, I don't think that's going to be super useful. 7 extra cards, still kind of useful. But, yeah.
We are everywhere.
Okay. We'll just destroy that and summon 2 copies. And while we're at it, we'll destroy that and summon 2 copies. And we can play a little bit conservatively here and keep our Sorcerer Supremacy alive.
Job's done.
Witness the power of pure water.
Yeah, he's really not doing anything. Not anything too special. We could try to build up our hand size. Suppose that's what we could do. Otherwise, I'm just gonna summon a random minion that's equal to 2, the cost of 2.
Nuts to you!
Just one more.
They're using.
So this would be great to play with the card that would refresh our minions, I guess. Let's see. Destroy some 2 while we're at it. Oh, I guess I should have remembered that card existed, because that would have actually been helpful to remember existed. 4 attack this turn? Sure.
Nuts to you!
So he's down to 14. I don't see any way I don't win this. Again, the spell card not super useful, but whatever. I could certainly play it. Let's see. Battle cry cards. Give me 2 battle cry cards. That would be it. Whereas if I play this, 50-50 shot of killing that. And then still trying to use our hero ability just in case that does something.
The sky beckons.
Alright, so now is either we get kicked in the gut and we have to fight a boss with 300 health, or we are just going to have to fight a regular boss that has maybe 80-90 health, and at this point it doesn't seem like it would be too difficult. Another map of Uldum would be discover a card and a mana crystal for each boss you've defeated. This was very useful, having 2 of them. Otherwise I could refresh my mana crystals and get a new hand this turn, or I could escape to the tavern and remove this from your adventure deck. Honestly, the Hearthstone is the best card, like, because you get this at the beginning of the game, and if things start going bad, you can just escape. I'd love to have 2 of these. Having this as a twin spell is not terrible either, but Hearthstone makes sense. So we now have 2 chances to potentially beat the final boss, assuming we don't really screw it up. The idea of having a Hearthstone as a card, though, being introduced 5 years in, really feels irritating, to say the least. Every single solo adventure up until this point could have handed us a Hearthstone at some point in every solo adventure mode. Then we would have had twice as many opportunities and a lot less grinding and frustration, which there's a lot of grinding and frustration certainly in playing Hearthstone sometimes. Let's see. Discover a spell. For each spell you cast this turn, add a random mage spell to your hand. Add a copy of each of your battlecry minions back to your hand. Discover a spell. I don't think any of these are particularly great, but we'll take this.
There, that's a plague lord, one of the sources of all this horror.
So, at the beginning they said defeat the plague lords. It was like defeat 15 plague lords. That would mean you would have to basically go through 15 chapters of a 5-chapter single player experience. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And then there was another item you unlocked if you defeated 250 damage. Okay, this doesn't seem too bad. The hero's passive ability is he's made of Murlocs. He is immune to damage. After a Murloc dies, he loses 3 health. So basically, I have to either I have to kill all 100 of his Murlocs. Well, kill 100 Murlocs on both sides, which might be a little difficult. I'm starting at 55. He's starting at 300. He's got to have some kind of cards that would summon more Murlocs, because if his deck has, let's say, just 30 cards and not 43 like me, well, that certainly wouldn't equal 100 Murlocs, would it? So yeah, I don't know what happens. It feels like there's a very distinct possibility where this guy would just run out of cards and then not take any damage because he's immune on fatigue, and then he could just stretch, like, he could just stretch things to the extreme and wait until I fatigue myself to death if he can't actually do any damage. So Hearthstone starts at the game. No problem there.
This thing's a giant! How can we hope to defeat it?
Stay focused. It can't regenerate. Do what damage you can, and we will finish it off later.
See, that conversation makes me wonder if maybe you just are supposed to do a certain amount of damage, but not all 300, and you still win. If that's the case, that's weird. There's kind of nothing here to do otherwise. So do I want to spell this? No, I'm just gonna wait next turn. Okay, at the end of the turn, summon a 1/1 Murloc. That's not a bad. This is not a bad card to do that with. Alright. So
we must stand together, united for Dalaran.
And then this, and that'll do 3 damage to him.
And we keep coming.
Do that. You have to be very careful because this card is just always going to be playable.
The sum of our scales. You call only the weak. No matter, there are many more of us.
I feel like this guy is not going to shut up at any point. So yeah, I'm hoping. Alright, this is even better. Like now I'm in a really good position. Let's see. But I can't do anything with that, unfortunately. So I could have this on the field and then return it to my hand. Well, this isn't a battle cry, so I can't actually return it to my hand. So we gotta do this, and then this, and we'll just leave things as they are. Well, no, he may cast a spell, so we'll go ahead and kill that Murloc right now. Okay. That. And that. Kill that. We're slowly making progress. We've made 36 damage already, which is considerably more damage than we've really needed to do for most bosses. Yeah, that was my concern. He's got 31 cards, I've got 46 cards. Okay. I don't think we're ready to inspire. Spell damage. Well, Divine Shield's not bad. Add a random spell to each person's hand. We want to kill that for sure. Then we're going to go ahead and take out this. And then do that. Deal 1 damage to all minions is probably not a bad one to use. Yeah, I don't think we'll be using the Hearthstone.
To grind your bones.
That spell didn't work out very well for him. Try this.
Calculations are flawless.
That shouldn't be too bad. The danger here is definitely going to come into the point of, can he just overwhelm me with Murlocs before I can do a significant amount of damage to get rid of all these Murlocs. The answer to that may be yes, he can. Right. I gotta do this, and then what has the best health to just play as a taunt minion. This strategy is gonna constantly give him Murlocs and constantly give him random Murlocs that are strong, and not just low level 1-mana Murlocs. We might be in trouble.
Let's get
that. And next thing we want to do is, I guess, kill one of these. Kill that. My health is low, and I have nothing that protects my health. And he's at just 219. His hand is full, so that card I don't think worked. Or maybe it did. Yeah, I don't know if I have victory here. Unless we just get a lot of Murlocs. Alright. I need that. Deal 2 damage to 2 random minions.
Science overwhelming.
Deal 4 damage to 2 random minions. So let's go ahead and save ourselves some frustration on that.
Just like you.
That. Okay, I turned it around. I think maybe for a couple more turns, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know how I would be succeeding if it weren't for the fact that so many of these have poison.
Suitable champions.
Is he doing something different?
Stone will grind your bones.
Okay, he now has a different ability. Destroy friendly Murloc to summon a Scaly Golem. A Scaly Golem is a character with a death rattle too. That would, well,
We must band together, united.
you give all
for
Murlocs,
Dalaran.
all Murlocs, including the ones on my side, +1/+1. Interesting.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Alright, so how do we want to play this? I can only attack with Murlocs right now, or I can play this. And I think if I do that, and then do this. The power to rock. Alright. Or death rattle that gives you slimes. We'll take the power to rock. And inspire to give your minions +1/+1. Nice. So if your turn, double its attack. One secret from each from your deck. Maybe that would work to do something, but I bet not. Mirror Entity. Divine Shield's not bad. If this minion attacks a hero, add a copy. That won't do anything. Adjacent minions can't be targeted. Spell damage is the best option there. Ice block, nice. Alright. So, backup strategy. Mirror Entity. Not yet. We want that. And that. Okay. Now it just comes down to what I want to do. Kill that. That gives all Murlocs +1/+1, including my side. So then I killed that. Oh, he's not immune anymore. Sweet. So we can just now start working down his health. Well, if the game had explained this part,
Display of power is required.
yeah. So now we can do 200 damage potentially just by actually hurting people. That would have affected my choices quite a bit. Rage spell you cast this turn, add a random mage spell. Well, I don't have any spells I cast this turn. But we could see what this does. And does that count? Does that give me spells? Gives me one spell. Alright, fine. I'm gonna play that way. So we've got a backup ice block, we've got a Hearthstone. We're playing extremely conservative, extremely careful here.
The tide marches on.
But I think we could probably do this. He's no longer taking 3 damage though, by the way. That's worth mentioning. Like, he's no longer taking 3 damage every time a Murloc dies. So I've lost that opportunity.
Life is an afterthought.
I lost the guy that would have beefed our characters up by 1/1 by being inspired. I guess if he runs out of cards though, then I'll be back in a good position. Alright. I can't play this without getting rid of something else. So we'll do this. This actually probably isn't a bad idea. So we'll take that. Kill his minion. And guess we'll just attack. And I guess we'll just save our mana.
From stone we rise.
It's still too early to get cocky because we really have no idea what could change. He could get a 3rd hero ability or even a 4th hero ability that changes everything on us once we get his health down to 150 or 100. Let's see, spell damage.
Here's a hot one. Catch.
So what does this one do, by the way? Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, summon 2 Murlocs from your deck. Do I really have a reason to do that? I can kill that easily. Do I really have a reason to try and get rid of anything else?
That minion already attacked.
No, I think we're good. We'll just leave it where it is. This will be a 3rd backup plan on top of Ice Black and the Hearthstone, is that if somehow he eliminates a significant amount of minions on my field, I'll start attacking with this to summon some more Murlocs. If there are Murlocs in my deck, which honestly there may not be any, so it may not matter. We lost our spell damage. Let's go ahead and play this. Deal 4 damage, draw a card. Just attack from this point. We're below 150, we're halfway there. And it's been over an hour and 15 minutes to do this. It's not super long, so at least this run wasn't, but it's still kind of long, particularly if you were going to lose right now. That would be really, really frustrating for people, and that's often the case of how it goes, is that I'll lose on the 7th or 8th boss. Which again, there's definitely still an opportunity here to lose. kill his minions. Yeah, we're still doing good. Just gotta keep on chugging along. We got plenty of cards. In fact, we're gonna start running out of space for cards, and he's had his handful for a very long time. Meanwhile, his hero ability is not really helping him as much as it's helping me, just because I have more locks at this point. There's a danger.
We will crush you.
What do I do with all these cards?
Okay. I'm gonna hit that. That summoned 2 minions, so now I know I don't have 2 minions. Do I need to give a friendly minion Murloc? Let's see, Divine Shield Charge.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
Destroy 1 enemy minion at random. Yeah. Hero power also freezes. Minions that summon double.
You've been in tighter scrapes, Rydo.
We just need to figure out what I want to get rid of. I guess that's what we'll get rid of. I'll buff that up.
We will assimilate that one.
And that one. Cancel a card. Yeah, sure. Counter spell is probably not a terrible move. Be careful and get rid of some of this. I think that's not a bad one to kill. That's not a bad one to kill. Yeah, as I invest more and more time in this game, I don't want it to go wrong. So I suppose if he had no Murlocs at the end of each turn, he wouldn't be able to summon the Scaly Golem. I don't know if that really does anything though that would be too big of a problem. Okay. This I think I want on the field.
United for Dalaran.
And where are we? We'll just do that. I'll buff up everything. Let's see. Do I have anything else I need to get rid of? It doesn't really... That doesn't need to exist anymore. Because we're not trying to get more Murlocs on the field. So we'll do 11. And that'll get it at exactly 100.
We will crush yours.
Let's see. Just continuously put things on the field, I guess. Yeah, we're still doing alright. There's his counter spell and a great 10 mana spell to counter spell. Okay, we're good. I mean, There's literally nothing else that you can do here. You just have to hit the face. Oh, what is this though? He's got a shuffle all minions into your deck after a Murloc dies, reduces cost by 1. So he now has a third hero ability called Murnado, and he's gonna steal all my minions. That's not good. The good news is, I guess if I don't focus on killing any Murlocs, he won't be able to cast a spell for a while. But not that long, clearly.
Cannot escape us.
Ah, Kelth is old. Definitely not a card I want in the hands of my opponent. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do here. Yeah. 47 to 28. Is deciding to reduce the cost. But by reducing the cost, he's reducing the amount of minions that would be on his side anyways.
Is that a Murloc-nado? That is the scariest thing I have ever seen.
A storm of scales. We will tear you apart.
Okay. We could play this, and we could play this. But we couldn't play something like this, and then... I don't know. Like, he's got nothing but Murloc, so playing that doesn't help anything. Right. So, I think we have to do this. And then this. And then... let's see. This is probably like the worst one.
Nobody loots these ruins but me.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the right move, but that may have been the best I could do. See, the danger here is in this next turn, they might very well be able to take me down by 21 health. And as the Murlocs keep on dying, the Murloc-nado continues to make sense and work for him. Okay. This. Kill that. In the turn.
Nobody loots these ruins.
Of course, he could probably cast this spell. But instead he chose to go with getting rid of Kel'Thuzad, so I guess thank goodness for small favors.
Wind and claw, we shall grind you to bits.
He's got 39 cards, by the way, and I have 12, so... not in a great position. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And he'll start at 17 again. I wonder if this is getting more expensive every time he uses it, or if it's just staying at the same level. Yeah, I've had to take a break from doing damage to the hero in the past couple of turns. So he's definitely slowed down my momentum. Okay. What if we were to play this?
Cast a spell. I want to cast a spell.
That.
Monsters behind you!
And then get rid of this. So if this guy dies, he'll summon a 1/1 copy of either this or this card. That's a 50-50 shot of something either really good or terrible. So next turn, I will try and kill this guy first and then play this. Alright, so...
Spells are fun. So fun.
Twin spell, destroy a minion, summon 2 copies of the same cost.
Backstab!
So do I want to self-kill this guy, or do I want to destroy and summon 2 copies? This summons a 1/1 copy of the minion from your hand, but what would the cost be on a 1/1 minion? Still 1, I would assume, so I think this is the right move. We'll find out, I guess, later.
Backstab!
I have 9 cards left. I'm kind of struggling here. He's not going to fatigue. Like, he is going to get lucky if things don't go the way I think they go, or the way I'm hoping they go. Or maybe I'll get lucky.
Of scales.
Or maybe I won't get lucky.
Tear you apart.
Draw 3 cards, gain 10 armor. It's getting ridiculous. Surprise Murloc, surprise Murloc, surprise Murlocs. I can't do anything at all. Deal 3 damage to the enemy minion and freeze it. Yeah. And now it's 18, so the Murnado is getting more expensive.
I'm out!
For each spell I've cast this turn, I can add some mage spells to my hand. Okay.
There are approximately 3,482 of us, if you were wondering.
Kill that. And then play this.
Calculations are flawless.
Then do that. Might as well attack. If Ice Block gets activated, I have to use the Hearthstone. We may have to just use the Hearthstone. I know we're rather close, but we're not really close enough. This is gonna go really, really badly. I need to be careful. How's this gonna work?
We must band together, united for Dalaran!
Seven.
Trivial.
Cannot be stopped.
Arise, my champions.
I may have it. I may have it here. But he can also just do Hurricane Murloc NATO and potentially destroy everything.
Powers are unbound. Your end is nigh.
2 fatigue. He'll be at 19 for the Murloc NATO. Let's see. A random minion may be the next thing I can play because that's really all I can do. If this minion dies, I've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I need him to be able to survive long enough to do 3 attacks to the enemy, or we can duplicate him, and I guess that's what we'll need to do. 3 damage, 4 damage. So next time will be 5 damage, which means if I can't really win this turn, I've probably lost. That's not too bad. And this would bring him back because he has Reborn on him, right? Or would it not? It probably wouldn't. So
We will consume all that lives.
So do I want a random minion to my hand? So here's the problem. When your hero takes fatal damage, prevent it and become immune. Does that include fatigue, or am I gonna just lose here? Frankly, if I lose here, I think it's a perfect opportunity to kind of play it up and do a rage quit, because like, so I've got to win this turn. I've lost. I've lost, and I can't play the Hearthstone. I've lost. Oh my goodness, I've lost. Because he's gonna end his turn, and then I'm gonna draw fatigue, and then I'm gonna lose. We had the Hearthstone, we had Ice Block, we had at times a third backup hero strategy, and still it wasn't good enough. It still wasn't good enough.
If we damage the Plague Lord a little every time, we will eventually triumph.
So we activated 30 combos, so now we could use the hero power to make your spell damage do +2. In the strategy I was using, that may have helped only a little bit. We dealt 50 damage, which gives us the item of the Reno's Magic Torch, which is not a terrible card. Better than the hat. We also have unlocked Reno's Crafty Lasso because we defeated 5 bosses. After your hero attacks, steal a card from your opponent's hand. That may have been useful. And let's go back here. We did what needed to be done, and his health is down to 16. So if I wanted to spend another hour plus, or actually it looks like it's closer to 2 hours of gameplay doing this, I would win. Like, I totally would win. There's no way I wouldn't do 16 damage in the first phase, unless it skips the first phase, which would be interesting. And goes directly to like the Murloc NATO. Even if it went to the Murloc NATO, doing 16 damage is super easy. The only thing we'd run into trouble with is actually making it to the 8th turn. So they did make it easier, and this is a new idea by far. Like, I have not seen this happen before, where you have a kind of world boss equivalent that has health that you wear down slower and slower. That feels like directly from World of Warcraft, and while the characters and the storyline is all from World of Warcraft and Hearthstone, a lot of the gameplay doesn't directly equate in my mind, but then again, I didn't play World of Warcraft. So if we were to, what do we need to do? Is defeat 1 Plague Lord. So it seems like either I will unlock these, or well, defeating 3 Plague Lords doesn't seem like that's too difficult. So if I was to take this weapon, and then I could take this, although in all honesty, well, I guess since this is a 0 mana hero ability, that's fine. We didn't defeat enough bosses to change our starting deck, so yeah, that's really where it all would line up. And yeah, we just would have to start over again, but we know the boss is easier. So they really did address a big issue with the previous things. If I come over here to the Delarian Heist, let's see, I'm in the middle of a battle still, I imagine, to try and defeat the second chapter. Let's see, let's go in heroic mode and see. I've never even been in here because I didn't care. Yeah, For my main US account, but oddly my European account, I actually did get the second chapter defeated. But for my main US account, I have not defeated chapter 2 of the Delirian heist, and it would have been really a lot more helpful if it played like the Tombs of Terror. When it comes down to heroic modes, though, I haven't done any of the solo heroic stuff. It is also worth mentioning that, like, Nexramus, Blackrock, and Karazhan, I don't think you can even get those anymore. I've queued up a bunch of dialogue. Maybe you can get Kobolds and Catacombs and Witchwood and Boomsday Project, but I wouldn't be surprised even if Witchwood is close to being removed. Meanwhile, over here, back to Tombs of Terror, let's leave. Well, we can't leave. Interesting. So let's do something stupid here, real quick, and just concede, and see what we can get to. If we can do chapter 2.
Never give up. Run away.
So can we play and unlock this? Yes, we can. We can do it right now. So I'm gonna do a bit of a teaser. Subscribe to my channel, and we'll find a point when we get a daily quest, almost certainly, in which we have to play this. And at that point, in the next 4 or 5 weeks, I imagine we'll get a daily quest that tells us specifically we need to come back and play this, and I'll come back and play this and win. Otherwise, let's break up this recording here, and I'll do chapter 2 for the live audience in a second. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because all those things are what YouTube wants me to ask people to do. I hate to do it. I put it at the end. I try not to irritate people. I try to jump into the game as quick as possible, because that's exactly what I would want when I'm watching a YouTube video. On the other hand, I also get very few people who actually subscribe to my channel, so I'm getting the number of subscribers based on the amount of effort I put into it, or the amount of shilling I put into it. Otherwise, click the notification bell, and then click under the options if you want to get notifications. Frankly, if you want to back up for notifications, because you still won't get 100% of all the notifications, there are some social media sites listed in the description to follow me on that. And then if you want to support me, which would be greatly appreciated, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either support me directly monthly through Patreon, or you can give a one-time donation by simply friending me on Steam and gifting me either a gift card or a game off my wishlist, or just a game you'd like to see me cover. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.